Someone else who's done great exploits is Lance Lambert. He's an author and teacher on Israel, and he lives here in Jerusalem. I caught up with him, and I asked him how long he's lived in the land.
I've lived here for half of every year from 1973, and fully from 1979.
Now, why did you come here to the land of Israel?
Well, I am Jewish, and basically the reason was the Lord told me to return.
What is God doing in the lives of the Israelis at the moment, do you think?
I think He is bringing them to an end of their own ingenuity.
Now, is the Messianic congregation growing here in the land of Israel?
Yes. The Messianic congregations are growing very much.
Do you think something special is happening there in the congregations?
I think so. We have all the normal problems associated with assemblies or fellowships or kehilot, we call them. But I mean, basically, I believe the Lord is working in very real ways.
Now, you've written many books about Israel. Do you think God has a plan for Israel?
Of course, that's why I've written them.
Yeah.
But basically, I'm sure that the reunification of Jerusalem on the 7th of June 1967 was one of the really big events of world history, and especially a prophetic milestone of enormous significance. And that means that we have moved out of the period of the times of the Gentiles, so-called, in the Word of God, and we have moved into the last phase of world history for however long it may last. Now, there's going to be a huge fight over Jerusalem. That's where we are now.
Yeah.
But I've no doubt about it that God has a plan for this people. It says in the New Testament, Romans 11 and verse 26, and so all Israel shall be saved. I mean, there has to be, when the fuller number of the Gentiles has come in, then God will turn back to the Jewish people and save them. I don't have any doubt about it, and it is very interesting to me that the 12 apostles were, when they spoke with Jesus just before his ascension, said, "Will you at this time restore the kingdom to Israel?" And not will you restore it, but will you at this time? So they were perfectly clear, because Jesus has been speaking, as it says in a few verses previous, about the kingdom. So he must have mentioned it again and again. So their question was, will you at this time? And he said, it's not for you to know the times and seasons which the Father has set within his own authority. And then he says, you have a job to do, you must get on with it. That is, witnesses to him, beginning in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, to the ends of the earth. Now, I think the times and the seasons we have arrived at.
Yeah. Now, at the moment, we hear a lot about Iran threatening Israel. Do you see anything prophetic in that?
Absolutely. I don't know prophetically, yes, I would be careful, but I think that the fact that we are now again, after a generation, facing threats of our total annihilation, Ahmadinejad has his own final solution. His mentor, the Ayatollah Khomeini, he said it's a good thing to get all the Jews in one place and then we'll destroy them in one blow. Now, it's Sheikh Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah in Lebanon, has said exactly the same. So I have no doubt at all. I suffered much in the family. I lost 58 members of the family in Auschwitz. I think that we are facing, after all this terrible history, we are facing the same threats again, and the world is dithering as usual. Some arguing that Ahmadinejad's just hot air rhetoric, it doesn't really matter. I think it's exactly the same run-up again as it was in the 30s.
So do you think Israel is at a crossroads at the moment?
Absolutely at a crossroads. We have an awful government. It dithers all the time, going backwards and forwards. It doesn't really know what it's doing, The Lebanon War was a disaster. For the first time we gave the Islamic militants a propaganda victory. And this is very serious, because the mentality of this branch of Islam is that if once you've got them running, keep them running. Hit them harder and harder and harder.
Yes.
So I believe we're at a crossroads.
If you'd like to know more about Israel and the Palestinian territories, or make a comment about the program, then email me at focusonisrael@hotmail.co.uk. Focus on Israel is all one word. Whether you're 7 or 70, you can do exploits for him. He opens and closes the door and gives us the real Shalom peace.